Hey everyone, Michael from Break a Pencil here. Welcome to Saturday Morning Coffee. Hopefully, you have your coffee or tea or whatever your beverage of choice is for this morning. We are continuing in the series going through the 6 personas of product leadership. Last week I talked about the strategic orchestra conductor. This week I'm going to talk about the talent gardener. The talent gardener persona is essentially focused on developing your product managers, your team, hiring the right people, coaching them through challenges, and creating opportunities for their growth. Just like a gardener creates the right conditions for plants to thrive, you're creating an environment where your team can develop into high-performing product leaders. One of the things that is really important to realize when you become a product leader, although nobody really tells you, is that your new product is your team, right? Whereas you focused on a product before, you might still have some product responsibility, but now you're focused on your team because they are the representation of you. And you're really being judged based on your worst performing product manager, unfortunately. You could have a team of rock stars, but if you've got one person who's just really, really not doing well, that's how that person reflects on you. And you look like not a very good leader. So very important to be a talent gardener and to always focus on creating that environment to help your product managers grow into high-performing product leaders. So the situation we're going to go through here is good news is that AI can help with this, right? So the scenario we have here is that you've got a product manager on your team. Her name is Sarah. She's a senior PM. She's been great, one of the best on your team, probably the best on your team. And she wants to get into a leadership role. She wants to get promoted to a director. And so the bad news is, like most companies, you probably don't have a very clear description of what does it take to be a director. Most companies, everyone generally knows, but nobody really knows specifically. And a lot of times it's kind of squishy, maybe. But what we do have is we've got a lot of feedback from the last 6 months. And we're going to use AI to help us analyze this feedback, and then create a development plan. So let's just take a look at some of the feedback we have, right? So from the last 2 quarters, I've got formal feedback from 360 analyses from the engineering team, from a designer, and from a data analyst. So hopefully good practice. You're asking the people that your product managers work with to provide you with feedback on how they're doing. I've got some informal feedback that people occasionally message me on Slack or send an email or mention in a conversation that I just note down and throw into a file. And then I've got observations from my manager about Sarah and her performance. And then my direct observations, her strengths, her development areas, and some specific examples. So I've got a lot of data, and collecting this isn't typically the problem, right? If you do those 360 reviews, if you ask the question of your manager, if you're a little observant and note down when you see great things or when you see things that could use some improvement. The problem, though, is there's 2 problems. The first is taking all of this unstructured data and these oftentimes conflicting signals and trying to figure out the real story out of it, right? What are Sarah's strengths and what are her areas of development? And the other problem is, and then once I figure that out, how do I actually turn that into actionable next steps to help her in the next, say, 90 days get ready so that she can be promoted? And so we're going to go through 2 prompts. The first is going to ask AI to do an initial analysis. I'm a product leader working with Sarah, a senior PM who wants to transition into product leadership. I've collected 6 months of feedback about her performance from multiple sources. Please analyze this feedback and identify the key themes and patterns, particularly focusing on what might help or hinder her transition to a leadership role. Then we'll put the feedback in. And because I want to make sure that I'm not just getting kind of random thoughts from AI, but I want a structured output, I'm asking for, in specifics, key strengths that would serve her well in leadership, critical development areas that could prevent successful leadership transition, patterns you notice across different sources, and any leadership-specific gaps that need addressing. So we'll do that step. So let's go ahead and do that now. My preferred AI of choice is Claude, but just to kind of keep things different, I'm going to do, again, 2 different ones side by side. So the other one I'm going to use is DeepSeek. So let's go ahead and copy and paste the prompt in here. And all of this material, the prompts as well as the feedback data on Sarah are linked from the email, so you can go ahead and grab those and replicate this on your own. All right, let's go get the feedback. And paste it. Okay, and let's let these models go. Okay, so I don't think we clicked go. There we go. Okay, so let's look here on the left and see what Claude's coming up with. So it's got some key strengths for leadership, excellent. Strategic communications, crisis leadership, natural mentoring instinct. Those are great ideas. Some development areas, good. It's fine. We want to make sure she's developing in the right areas. Conflict avoidance, some delegation, defensive response to feedback. Okay, excellent. Some cross-source patterns we've seen, some leadership-specific gaps. Okay, really helpful that we got this information. Let's take a look over here on the right and see what DeepSeek's coming back with. Key strengths, technical and analytical acumen, crisis management, execution focus. Great. That tends to align with what Claude was saying. Critical development areas, conflict avoidance, excellent. Delegation and coaching, strategic mindset, executive presence. Okay. Some patterns and leadership-specific gaps. And it already jumped to recommendations for development. Her strengths are leadership ready, but she must consciously shift from hero IC to multiplier leader by embracing ambiguity, conflict, and coaching. This is actually a super common gap from senior manager to director. And a lot of it's because nobody tells you that you need to go from being a hero IC to this multiplier leader. So that's great. Okay, so let's go to the other prompt and let's say, this is really the hard part, right? So this is where I always struggled as a manager, which is how do I then, like, okay, great, I deliver this feedback and then Sarah looks at me and says, all right, so what can I do? And, oftentimes I would struggle with that. I don't know, I'm trying to, I'd come up with some ideas, but let's go ahead and use AI to help us with this. Notice also, I didn't have to include a job description for director. AI knows most of this already, and what are the expectations? I would obviously be, going through this very carefully to make sure that it was accurate and reflective of what a director is expected to do in my company. So we're going to go ahead and submit this next prompt, and we'll see what it comes back with. A few things to note. So AI had no issues with connecting feedback from different sources. It was able to identify very leadership-specific patterns. And this kind of work would normally take me, a couple hours probably to try and put everything together and really understand it. I can now do in a matter of minutes. And this next step really is helpful. So here we go. Priority 1, 90-day plan, shift from problem solver to problem solving coach. That's pretty fantastic. Priority 2, and then what are they asking for, right? So some specific actions, some resources, a book, shadow a current director, partner with a peer. Fabulous. All right. So some real actionable things. Weekly self-assessment, months 1 and 3, micro feedback. So this is really helpful to start giving her some real clear things to go and work on. Direct conflict engagement and difficult conversations. So enroll in the company's crucial conversations workshop if it's available. Role playing, SBI, situation behavior impact model. So this is, again, very actionable for her. And then strategic thinking and executive presence. Again, there's some resources, a book, a podcast, and then the way we're going to measure it. And then some implementation support along the way. So now we can sit down with Sarah. We can have a conversation and say, here's the feedback, right? We don't have to say who it came from, but here's the collective feedback. Here's your strengths. Here's your areas for development. And I'm providing you this with an eye towards promotion. And here's the plan. Here's the plan that I'm going to look to you to drive and implement over the next 90 days or so, so that I can then really go to bat for you to get that promotion. Let's take a look real quick here what DeepSeek did. So it came up with priority 1, practice some pushback frameworks. That's fabulous. Delegation and coaching. Coach, don't fix, rule. Delegate one recurring task. Ask retrospective on ownership. Ask where could I have stepped back to let others lead. executive presence. There's a 10-minute summary of Barbara Minto's pyramid principle, so how to kind of, convey a message succinctly with the key important principles, details first, and some success metrics. So hopefully you've gotten a chance to realize that it's important to be a talent gardener when you're a product leader, and B, as a talent gardener, it's important that you are providing clear and actionable feedback to your employees, to your product managers. And then C, that AI can really, really help with that and make you an even better and even more effective product leader. That's it. Thanks for watching. Break a pencil. Till next time.